Hey Joy, I thought I'd give you some notes, and I'm too tired to write them all, and I think I could explain them better to you if I just make you this video. So take what you want, throw out the rest. First of all, you're a good writer. You answered the question, all components of the question. You did it clearly. Your essay has a beginning and a middle and an end. So from that perspective, it's solid. Just as you're a good writer, you also have a tendency to get a little lazy and a little careless. And you got to clean that up. I'm going to give you a freebie on this one and go through these one by one, but you need to take care of these. You're too good of a writer. You're too smart to have this stuff in your work. Some of them are mistakes I still make, like in the first sentence, a family is the source of one's morals. I think that's a possessive there, so you should have an apostrophe. But I'm not absolutely 100%. I think it should be, one apostrophe S, morals, fears, tastes, and desires. You might check that. This is not the kind of thing you want to show these kinds of mistakes in. You also have a tendency to do what I do, which is you have a lot of unconnected thises. Third line, though I don't have too many reasons to thank them for this. Now, I know what you're talking about. Everyone knows what you're talking about, but this is an essay for a college admission. You need to connect that this. And by that I mean, though I don't have too many reasons to thank them for this gift, you need to connect to this. There needs to be a noun there or something to clarify what the this is. Also, you have a tendency to write, I'll get to that in a minute. I like fragments. You use a fragment in the fourth line, mistakes like lying, affairs, and emotional abuse. I would caution against that in this. I think it would probably be okay. I would just add a colon, after, simply because a lot of my growth was through their mistakes, colon, which, says here comes a list. So that takes care of that fragment. Let's see. Ticky-tack stuff. Second paragraph, first sentence. My sister and I alone on a house in the countryside. I know what you meant, but I think you need to say in a house in the countryside. Don't worry about using the same word twice in the same sentence if it's clear and it's correct. Because he actually didn't leave you on the roof, I hope. Third sentence, paragraph 2. Walls held too many ghosts. That's T-O-O, not T-O. That's a mistake you shouldn't be making, Joy. Let's see. Now, a lot of this, you should get a Chicago Manual of Style or something. I think this is a compound adjective. 80-something-year-old. That should all have, hyphens, a dash. What's called an end dash. Because it's all one descriptive compound adjective. 80-something-year-old house. So 80-something-year dash. If this wasn't a college essay, who cares? But it is, and it matters. You say things like a floor that was literally falling apart. I'm not sure you need to say literally in that case because there's no reason to take you unliterally, figuratively. It's falling apart. Let's see. Yeah, the end of paragraph 2. This all instilled a fear of trust and a sense of worthlessness in me, and that feeling of worthlessness grew after discovering the truth behind my parents' divorce. Also, I think parents should have an apostrophe between the T and the S. But the point is, What truth? It begs the question. Well, okay, you've got me interested. Now tell me, and you don't. Don't bring this up unless you're willing to spill the beans. Because you're begging the question and then you're leaving the reader hanging, and that's not good. It's an easy mistake to make, though. Let's see. Paragraph 1, 2. Starting on paragraph 3, the feeling of worthlessness grew. Thinking about it now, I laugh a little. Maybe you do. Do you really? Or do you smile? Or are you thoughtful? Seems like I'm being ticky-tack, but this is a really important point, not just for this sentence. You need to visualize the scenes, the moments, the reality, and not the words. It's easy to say I laugh a little, but do you really? This is a habit you can start now, and if you can develop that habit of visualizing what's really going on and describing that, maybe you do laugh a little, and if you do, keep it. But I'm just trying to make a point. If you can be more precise about what's really going on, it will make your writing 10 times more powerful. And you have another disconnected this. The last sentence of the paragraph, of course, she only told me the mild version of this. Traumatic history. So you need to connect that. And plus it gives it more power. It recaps it. Since at the time I was in the 5th grade. This is another thing your style manual will tell you to do. Is it 5 with a superscript TH? Or should you spell that out? Fifth, FIFTH. I think you should probably spell it out. But again, whatever you do, be consistent. If you spell it out once, spell it out every time. Last paragraph, starting at the beginning of the page. Again, you have a arguably redundant, talking about your sister. She fell extremely far behind. I would either use one or the other. She fell, I would just say she fell far behind. You want to tighten your writing because it helps the clarity of it and it shows you put thought into it. It's not like it's stream of consciousness. Your writing is good because it has that stream of consciousness flow. It's coming out of your head and it's going on the page, and it's raw and it's pure and it has a feeling of integrity and honesty to it. But the downside of that is you got to clean some of this up and make it more formal because of what this is. Let's see. I would love, and this is something I'll talk about in a minute, but this last paragraph on the first page, arguments between her and my sister were frequent and sinister, often turning into slamming doors, screaming, and accusations. You could dramatize some of that. How did it make you feel? What was the house like? What did they look like? What did their faces look like? Paint a picture. Take me into that world. Because, see, what you're doing is you have a very good, solid essay here, but you're telling everything. Pick your spots and show me. Make me feel it, taste it, smell it. Pick your spots carefully, but boy, in those key moments, just make me feel like I'm in that room. The reason that what you have to say is valuable, nobody else experienced what you experienced. That's why it's valuable. It's your perceptions. Let's see more of that from your personal point of view. It's hard, and it takes time, and it takes concentration. But, man, it will make your writing 10 times more powerful. First paragraph on the second page, you have another disconnected this. This all helped me. Believe me, these college admissions boards people, they don't like stuff like that. Also, you have a tendency to create a word using a lot of words, like my mother's emotional abuse instilled a fear of trust. So I have to stop and think about, trust? Oh, a fear of trust. Just say distrust. Instilled distrust in me. unless there's a reason you want the reader to have to work to figure that out. But I don't think there is. Let's see. And you have, this is that stream of consciousness thing. She did teach me all about equality. No offense to your mom, it'd be impossible for anyone to teach anybody all about anything. Just cut it. She taught me about equality. You got to be careful using these words, because when you use words like that and you don't really think about them, it kind of dilutes the power of your writing. And when you take them out and you start really thinking about the words you use, man, it'll punch. Also, you have a sense of adventure. I'd never lose. You need to, that's lose. Let's see. My sister is the one gave me something. You need to read this over before you send it. I mean, I know it's just me, but you don't want to be sending stuff out with these kinds of mistakes in it. Joy. Let's see. Also, this is the next to last paragraph. After seeing her downward spiral in school and in her depression, you gotta work these sentences until they. Again, if this wasn't for a college admissions thing, I wouldn't be picking on you about this. After seeing her downward spiral in school and feeling the fear, the sadness of her depression, clarify it. But that sentence is not something you want to put in front of that committee. Ticky-tack stuff. Third sentence from the bottom, next to the last paragraph. I wanted her to think if she can do it, so can I. I think that should be a capital I on if, because it's the beginning of a sentence. And you can cut words like, I don't know if this has worked at all. You could probably cut at all. I don't know if it's worked. It's just a question of your style and what you want to do. And you have, you wrap it up at the end. I have 2 sets of suggestions for your essay. The first set of suggestions I strongly recommend that you take. Let's see what they are. And I'm going to quote some sentences from your paper. As the years went on, my life became a roller coaster of family issues, depression, and hope. When I read the word hope, I'm like, wow, I'm about to, but you breeze by it. Where did that hope come from? How did it touch you? How did you embrace it? How did it make you change? That's an important thing to not skip over. Let's see, another sentence. I began to force myself to trust people and be open to the idea of love, and I began to push myself. That's a run-on sentence, by the way. You either need a semicolon to start the second half of it. I began to push myself, or just break it into different sentences, which is what I would do. Anyway, the point is, I began to push myself in school. Okay, why? What happened? How did you do it? How did it feel? Take us through the progression of development of it. Don't just tell us you did it. Bring me into that world. Inspire me by how you did it. In your last sentence, these values will continue to grow as I grow, and I will only become stronger because of them, because I refuse to be anything but strong. In a way, I really like it a lot. But I think, just my opinion, but consider, you need to show a weakness or some area that you're working on in a very specific way. You need to add a little bit of humility to this essay. In other words, you don't have all the answers, but you believe that you're on the right path. Just show a little humility. I would strongly urge it. It's not that your essay doesn't come across as, arrogant or anything like that. I'm just wanting to see just a little bit of struggle. You're still struggling in a way, I think that would help it. Now, the second set of suggestions, this is because I know you're smarter than I was when I was 17, and you're more talented than I was when I was 17. So I'm going to give you the second set of suggestions if you ever want to take your writing to the next level. I mean, you're number one in McKinney, but you go off to school and everyone's number one where they come from. This will help separate you from the pack. And I know you're capable of doing it because I see how you overcome things, and whether it's music or writing or filmmaking, you have courage and you have determination. So, and this touches on what I would say before, but pick some of these areas, the 3 sentences that I talked about, the trust, you begin to trust people, push yourself, values will continue to grow, your life was a roller coaster of family issues and hope. You need to break these into little mini scenes. And like I said, develop them using details. Your senses. Put yourself back there. Go find some pictures of those days. Do something to stir up those memories and remember what it felt like and make me feel it using details. How did it look? How did it smell? What did it sound like? Was there a taste in the air? What, you use details, and it will separate your writing. Your writing is good. You're in that upper portion, but it can be better. And, I would definitely take the first set of suggestions for this essay, but the second set, that needs to be something long-term that you need to work on if you're interested in writing seriously. But good job on the essay. Clean up the sloppiness, Joy. Clean it up, and I think you're in good shape. The thing that I like about your essay was you answered the question. As insane as it sounds, you would be surprised how many they won't answer the question. Are the questions. So you did that. Good job on that. And I just want to say, to conclude, I'm in awe of your honesty of your heart to put this on the page. This could not have been easy to do. And I admire that and I respect that a lot. So good job, and send me the next essay and we'll see what goes. But keep it flying. And also I wanted to invite you, I'm going to be at, I don't know if it's JT Gators or JW Gators. It's a place in Fort Worth on September 2nd in the evening. If you want to, I know it's Friday night and it's prime time and you probably don't want to hang around with a bunch of old people, but if you just want to stop by and say hi and we can meet, and I'll be there. I think your mom's going to try to make it. So, and Shirley wants to come see if she does. So anyway, all right, that's it. Good job and good luck. All right, talk to you later.